Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, my dear, beautiful, beloved friends. Hello, welcome. How's the sound check? Sound check. Can you hear me? Can you hear? Oops, I just turned the music off. Good afternoon, Carrie. Hi, everybody. It's so nice to be back. Yay. Hi, Ruby. Hi, Muriel. Hi, Jojo. Yes, you can hear me. Fantastic. So excited to be here today with all of you. It's been a while, hasn't it? I've missed you all. I've missed doing this. I don't know why I go through these periods of resisting doing it, but we're back. We're back. We have some beautiful topics today. How's everybody? How's your last few weeks been? Gosh, it's been what? Feels like forever. When did we do this last? End of June. Yeah, it's been a good 3 or 4 weeks. Hey, Jerry, good to see you. April, I was just thinking of you. Was it last night or this morning? I was like, I haven't seen April in a while. Of course, I haven't been here in a bit. Oh, missed you too, Carrie. I've just missed spending time with you guys and doing what we do. Catalyzing aha moments and being together in beautiful oneness and just exploring the unknown and all the beautiful things we always talk about here. Thank you, April. That's so sweet. I've been going through a lot. It has been, I have to call the last 4 to 6 weeks quite the crucible. I've been growing and learning a lot. I've been resisting. I've been in resistance quite a lot. And it's just this week that I've finally started to shift it and pull through and pull to the other side. And it's been challenging and an incredible dance. So it's really good to be here. It's like I always come back to the fact that that we belong together, basically, and that I get so much out of spending time with you guys and being here for you and for me to share my gifts with you and to listen to the council together. So the isness that is, says Carrie. Yes. And Jerry says things have been tough lately, but getting better, hopeful. Yes, I'm glad to hear that, Jerry. April says it's the season. What season, April? Muriel says, I have to exercise a lot to facilitate whatever is shifting. Yeah, I've started doing my morning walks again. I was lax with that for a little while. And I tell you, this morning, things were kind of a little gunky inside. And I was just like, I got to go walk. I gotta go move. Now you can hear. Okay, Jojo. Good. Managing through our resistance. You relate. April said that. I relate to that. Yeah, managing through our resistance. And you know what's fascinating, guys? It's just every time I go through a period like this, I find that I more easily succumb to my fears and my worries, and the mind just gets going, and what I almost 99.999% of the time, what happens is that I end up remembering one simple thing, which is something that the council has indirectly been teaching us all along. And it struck me on Tuesday morning this week. Nothing has gone wrong. Nothing has gone wrong. It's just that my thinking has been out of place. And it's a very powerful realization to just walk around through the day and think, nothing's gone wrong. Everything is okay. Like Bashar said it beautifully once. He said, I am who I am, and that is enough. And my mind can get so freaking busy with things that are not of the isness, that are not of the moment. And I get so distracted and I start getting scared and worried. And the other thing I realized this week is that one of the most powerful tools for me in remembering who I am and what's important is spending time with you guys. And when I am in resistance of doing that, when I am in resistance of showing up for all of you and with all of you, I'm only cheating myself of the opportunity to grow. I mean, I have plenty of other opportunities to grow, but this one's the most powerful for me right now, to just be here with all of you or wherever, on Zoom or something, and to just be together. It's just so powerful and so important for me. You guys are my community, and there is something very, very precious about being of service to you. So I thank you for being here. I thank you for being part of what we are together. We're still learning about it, and it's growing, and I'm just in deep, deep appreciation of all of you. So thank you, 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 thank you. I also learned some fascinating new things in the last 2 weeks about video editing, lighting. So if anyone's been with me for a while, you'll always, not always, every once in a while, you'll see me be concerned with the lighting, right? And I always had the assumption that I had to be perfectly brightly lit on both sides of the face. And what I learned this week or last week was that I need one side of my face to be slightly more shadowed than the other, and that creates more depth and more realism. So that was a cool thing to learn. We're exactly where we need to be, April said. Yes, nothing has gone wrong. If we truly remember and believe and agree with the ideas that nothing has gone wrong, we're exactly where we need to be, and everything is unfolding with divine right timing, then there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to hurry about. There's nothing to stress about. Oh, Muriel, thank you. I'm glad you're here. It's your great pleasure. Jojo says, in my writing this morning, I was told exactly that this community is family. It really is. It's more than family. We're soul family. And in my meditation this morning, and I think the council is going to talk about this first thing today, the council was sharing with me a little bit of an insight about what they wanted to share as an intro today. And it was just so incredibly beautiful. It brought me to tears. And I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you guys. Hey, Lise, good to see you. Let's see what else everybody's sharing. Good morning, Alicia. Oh, good to see you. All the beautiful souls. Yay. Carrie, yes, we're all learning from me and the council. I'm learning from me and the council too. So Mariel said, if someone, what is this? Everything's scrolling so quickly. If someone had told me about these amazing spiritual lives 30 years ago, I would not have believed them. I don't even know if it would have been possible 30 years ago. I was just the beginnings of my spiritual path. Nancy, good to see you. Nancy, I'm so happy to see you. Your response to the latest newsletter survey, everybody's response to the latest newsletter survey has been phenomenal, but Nancy's was incredibly brilliant. Can I read this to everybody, Nancy? Do I have your permission to share what you shared with me? Hey, Linda with a Y. So good to see you, dear. Yeah, okay, sure. Thank you. I have to find it. One moment, friends. It was so beautiful because one of the things I've been having growing pains with, but making progress with this month was this I went on this deep dive exploration of my human design. I'm a projector. I'm an emotional projector with a 1-3 profile, if anybody understands that. And I've been really digging into what it means to be a projector. I've been taking a class called The Art of Being Invited about how to be a projector with a business, how to do business as a projector. I bought this report about what my 1-3 profile means, and I bought this report about what my human design chart, how it translates into the message, into what's called, she was calling it messaging, but what I'm interpreting it as the 3 pillars that make up my being of service to other people. You're a 1-3 too, Carrie? That's so super cool. Yeah, and so I've been diving into my messaging, And Nancy hit one of the points so on the head that it just was incredibly moving. Okay. She said, I think you, and what I'm talking about is I've asked my newsletter people for I put out a survey asking for how have I touched your life or how have I impacted you, sort of just wanting to hear and the feelings and the different ways people feel after we spend time together. So she said, I think you truly embody a oneness with the rest of us on your lives. You are so transparent, speaking truth, and wear your emotions on your sleeve. I get the feeling by your verbal expressions and your emotions spilling over that you truly care for all of us, quote unquote, followers. I feel trusting of what you have to say, as well as your beautiful spiritual circle of seven. I love that your true self is showing itself, no fakeness or no ego in the way. I'll truly say that I feel the love you're sending to all of us. It connects us all. Now, my friends, this was a huge thing that I uncovered in my profile. I'm here to bring us together through my own experiences, my depth of experience with the dance of life. I'm supposed to share that with others, bring us together in order to uplift us all and inspire us all. And that's exactly what happens here. And I'm just so honored by people like Nancy and others who just have put that into such beautiful words. So Nancy, thank you. Everybody send Nancy some love. Alicia says, thank you, Greg, for your remembering and sharing. I love that many of us now are tapping into our she's saying something wild. Super cool here. I can't get the scroll. There it is. Our multiple timelines. Yep. Multiple timelines that are running at the same time. That's exactly what you're doing. Much gratitude for you sharing it with the click. Absolutely. So super cool. Hey, Johnny, welcome to you. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, Nancy's comment. Everybody's comments were truly beautiful. I'm going to be probably extending that survey. So if anybody wants to get in on that, join my newsletter. And I'm going to be probably sending another another email out, another note. I've renamed it Notes from the Heart, because that's really what they are. They're like love notes from my life experience to yours is basically what they're about. Yeah, the dance of life that came to me today. That I have so much experience with the dance of life, and I am more than happy to share that with everybody. Okay, woo. Well, great start. I am so happy to be here with all of you. Let's take a moment to check in. Close your eyes. Wait, before you close your eyes, I'm going to do a quick little, is anyone new? We always have to, I almost forgot to greet firsties. Is anybody here brand new to our beautiful community? If you are, hello, my name is Greg Phillips. I'm a way shower. I'm a channel for the Council of Seven, which is the group of beings that are my guides and offer service and guidance and loving guidance to all of us. And I'm also a champion for people's aha moments. First time Ruby, yay, she's a firstie. Welcome, Ruby. Hello. Everybody say hi to Ruby. Give her a good old warm welcome. Jojo says, I like that whatever we are going through, we can dance, and it could be a slow waltz or a tango. Yeah, me too, Jojo. I've been using the phrase ups and downs of life, but it's awfully dualistic. It's awfully binary. But I love the notion of the dance of life, because when you're dancing, has anyone ever danced for long hours? I have. I've danced for like 6 hours straight once, several times actually. The only way that you can dance for 6 hours or long hours straight is if you honor the ebb and flow of your body, your thoughts, and your emotions. You cannot dance at one rate, at one pace, or at one rhythm for the entirety of that 6 hour period. You actually have to honor the slows, the flows, the ebbs, the way it moves and shifts. You have to honor that. Otherwise, you burn your body out. And it's a beautiful, the dance of life is a beautiful phrase, I guess, to describe it. Ruby, we're so glad you're here. We hope you enjoy this. Yeah, ballet. Wow, that's amazing. Just reading the comments. Okay, my friends. So one of the things that I said we were going to do today is that I'm going to teach everybody how to find the topic of any question that's in your mind. So I'm going to invite you to take a moment and think of a question that you would want to ask the council about. And it could be something personal, it could be something general, it could be something that you're just curious about, it could be something that you're struggling with. It doesn't matter what that question is. But most of the time what happens is when we have a question, we end up trying to make it so specific because we're looking for a specific answer about a specific situation. But when we have that level of detail and specificity, it semi-limits the ability of source to answer the question for us. It doesn't completely limit it, but it causes the focus of the question to be very, very, very tight. And the mind thinks that that's what we need, but what our heart says is open it up, broaden it up, open it up to the topic that we're actually talking about, the topic we're actually asking about. So we're going to do that now before we get started with the wheel. So think of a question, the full amount of a question that you might be curious about, something you're struggling with, something you might want to ask the council, or just ask source in general, and hold that in your mind. Okay? If it helps, write the question down on a piece of paper or type it out on a notepad on your phone or on your computer, whatever you are using right now to participate in this session. Writing it down is not required, but it can be helpful. It can be helpful for people that are super visual. So think about what the question is and hold that question in your mind as you close your eyes and as you relax into it. So notice that the question probably starts with a what, where, why, when, how, one of those types of words. And just in your mind's eye, see the question and just gently erase and remove that first word. If it's a how or a what or a why or a where or a when, any of the woo-woo-woos. And usually there'll be some sort of a verb or some sort of an action thing, and just gently erase that. And then begin to listen to your heart. Let's take, for example, how do I navigate this difficult period that I'm experiencing in my job? So in that example, the question starts with the how, and we could just simply erase that. And then we're left with, do I navigate this challenging period with my job? Well, you know it's about you, so you can take out the do I. Just simply in your mind's eye, with your heart's guidance, erase that do I, and you're left with navigate this difficult situation in my job. Well, the job is just one particular area of life, so you can take out your magical mental musical eraser and just simply erase out that as the focus of the question, in my job. So you're left with navigate difficult situation. Because it doesn't really matter that it's you. Of course it's you. You're asking a question for yourself. It doesn't really matter the what and the why and the who and the how and the when. Those don't really matter because that's just the mind trying to put a time frame on things, trying to seek out a specific answer. But what the topic really is here is the challenging situation and navigating it, navigating challenging situations. And so this becomes, you can open your eyes now. Oh, thanks for typing that out, Muriel. So this particular example, the topic becomes navigating challenging situations. Because the reality is that the challenge that we're experiencing, in the original question that I used as an example, the focus was on the job. But the challenge is actually occurring inside of ourselves. It has nothing to do with the job. The job is just reflecting the internal challenge. And so the true topic of that question isn't about the job like the mind thinks it is. And it isn't about, that's fine, Muriel. And it isn't about the how or the when or the who or the why. It's about navigating the challenging situation. And that starts within. Hopefully that's a really good example. Was that helpful? Let me know if that was helpful, and if you got down to Muriel's giving a great example. Let's quickly just use the magical mental eraser on that. We get rid of how to be. And what's the topic of that? It's not so much about being of service without burnout. It's about managing energy, managing our energy levels, managing burnout. There's a number of different ways that could be phrased as the topic. How to get unstuck. Hi, Darlene. Good question. Yeah. So if we take that question and we use our magical mental eraser, we're gonna take away. We're gonna just erase the how about, and what's the topic? Unstuck? Well, maybe the topic is shifting stuckness, understanding the feeling of being stuck. Yeah. Carrie says, yes, I got it down to my question. Yes, good to see you, Darlene. Ruby says, I need help with mine. If I move to Europe, what job can I get? Yeah, that's a really good. Okay, so if that also falls in the was, the when, the how, the what, all. Think about it this way. Whenever you're saying why, how, when, where, if, blah, 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 it's the mind dealing with conditionals, whereas source and infinite wisdom is not limited by the conditions that our mind puts on things. So when we drop that if, when we drop the whens and the hows, right, then the question becomes, move to Europe, what job can I get? So it really becomes a question about how to live in uncertainty, or where your sense of security can come from, because you're assigning a meaning to, or a significance to, the job related to the move. There could be a number of different topics there. The most important part of this process is to really ask your heart, what is the topic here? What is my soul of souls and my heart of hearts really wanting to know? Because the mind wants to know one thing: if, when, how, where, who, blah, blah, why. And the heart's just like, I'm hurting. I'm struggling. I'm stuck. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. And Source hears that more than everything else that we're talking about, and then can share insight and loving guidance. Security. Yes, security. Ruby, you just answered your own question. Security is the topic. Absolutely. Alicia says, listening and interpreting intuitive messages and guides. Yeah. Conquering fear. Love it. Beautiful. All right, let's bring the wheel up. For anyone who's a firstie, here at my lives, when we do any readings, we use this beautiful thing called the Wheel of Names. Many thanks to my dear friend Rev J and the gang for introducing me to this. I call it the Wheel of Good Guidance. And what's different about Spiritual Snacks as a live stream is that instead of asking personalized, specific questions, we're putting topics in the wheel that carry over from session to session. So the last time we met, all of these topics in the wheel were still here, which is really exciting. So I'm going to read these off to you guys. We've got, I have to lean in because the text is really small. Why bad things happen to us, self-love, health issues on the spiritual path, releasing control, soul contracts, self-acceptance, how to speak and connect to our higher selves, soul lessons, purpose, keeping a higher vibration. Why do we go through depression, strong fear, anxiety, stress, panic attacks, right? So we can remove the why and the we, right? And it's all about living with or experiencing, right? So more examples, more beautiful examples. Inner peace. So those are all the topics that we currently have on the wheel. What else do you guys want to add? Or we could do this. We could wipe all those topics and start fresh. Totally up to you guys. Do you want to wipe the topics and start fresh, or keep these and just add to it? You let me know. They are good topics. Darlene wants to wipe it. Muriel says start fresh too. They are good topics, but they're also representative. I think we should wipe it, and here's why. These are topics from 3 or 4 weeks ago, and what do I always say? Our essential energy is purely in the now. It doesn't live in the past or the future. It is purely in the now. Alicia wants to keep them and add to them. They are heat. They are neat. They are isness. X? I think we're going to wipe them. Let's start fresh. No harm in that, my friends. All right. We're going to start taking topics for today. Try to keep it to, don't make a sentence out of it, please, if you can. Try to keep it to just a few words so that my 61-year-old eyes can read the text well enough. Open to my guides. Love it. I'm going to say our guides because we're in collective. What else? Just start typing your topic or your theme or your concept in the comments. Service. Beautiful. Patience. Did I spell that right? I did. What else? Movement. Seasons of life. Oh, Jojo, that's a good one. I love all these. Seasons of life. Movement. Can you clarify movement, Nina? Oh, and hi, Nina. Good to see you. God, it's been ages. Movement. Well, actually, we don't have to clarify movement. Ancestral trauma. Any topic you're curious about. Could be personal, collective, control. We can leave movement as it is. Soul contract. Do you mean contract, Alicia? Did you misspell that? I'm assuming soul contracts. The answer is yes, we do. We come with multiple ones. So if you want to know more about soul contracts, see, this is a great example. Alicia's question right now. Do we come with a soul contract? The answer is yes, multiple ones. But that's not really what she's asking. I'm sensing that she's probably asking to learn more about soul contracts, not just have a yes or no answer to that question. Right, Alicia? Let us know if I'm correct. No problem, dear. All good. Breaking soul contracts. Ooh. Cool. You guys are so awesome with all of these amazing topics. Anything else? What else do we want to throw on there? Thank you for all the hearts. Really, really, really appreciate it. I love how cosmic my background is. It's very floaty. Raising frequency. Darlene, that's lovely. Yeah, Alicia, yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see which soul contract one gets picked. If it does. Raising vibration. Oh, raising frequency. Okay. Great stuff, guys. Great stuff. All right. That's good for now. We can always add more later if anyone else comes on or if you guys have any more ideas. So are we ready to spin? Thumbs up in chat if you're ready to spin. I got blow my nose. I mean, you could throw hands up. You could put anything in chat, really, if you're ready to spin. Thumbs up, fingers crossed, the whole kit and caboodle. All right, let's find out what we have. I'm going to shuffle it 3 times. I don't know why 3. Let's see what we got. Can you hear the wheel? It's very faint for me. Patience. Our first lucky winner from the Wheel of Good Guidance is Patience. Wow, that is like so awesome. Okay. Yay. Yeah, the wheel is really faint. And with this in bed in OBS, I can't really control the volume of it, unfortunately. All right. Let's see what we have, my beloved friends. Patience is the topic. Guides and counsels, please open me up to receive. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, any time of day. Greetings to you, dear ones. We greet you from the energetic realms, where we are always walking side by side with your higher self, kibitzing and cohorting and thinking of wonderful positive things only and always for you. For indeed, we are always holding the highest possible frequency and vibration for you, for every possible outcome in any aspect or any experience or any situation or occurrence that may be happening and unfolding in your lives. We greet you with love and celebration, and we thank you for being here today. Indeed, before we get to the topic of patience, as we so showed Greg during his beautiful meditation this morning, we wish to speak with you about your gathering here today. For you may not realize this. You probably are feeling it. Some of you may have actually put it in words. But you have called each other together in this budding, growing community. Do you realize that your very essences have asked to be with each other? Not just for this particular moment of this live session, but indeed in this very beautiful community that you are all forming through your coming together. And it is as though you are all one body. Indeed, in this very moment, Greg may be the voice or a voice, but you are also part of this body, each and every single one of you. And you get to choose. Do you wish to be the feet and the toes, or the ankles, the legs, the arms? Are you a shoulder? Are you a back? Are you the stomach? Are you the blood system? Are you also a voice? Are you the eyes or ears? You are all part of this body, and indeed you are all a part of us, for as we have said at the beginning, we hang out with, celebrate with, play with, cohort with your higher selves here in this beautiful space in the energetic realms. And we are always together with you, walking side by side, not just your higher selves, but also with you on the planet. And if you can feel it in any given day, it may feel like the brush of wind upon your face or rustling gently through your hair. It may feel like the gentle mist of a light rain. It may be that moment of uplift that you feel during listening to a particular piece of music. It may be that moment when you are moved to tears by another's sharing. Each and every single one of these experiences that opens and moves your heart and raises or shifts your vibration is us walking beside you, celebrating and loving each and every single experience with you. So indeed, you can ask yourself, what kind of part of the body do I wish to be? Greg has chosen to be a voice for us, as well as a voice for the dance of life for you. There are other roles in which he can play for this body, this collective that you have all become, but you are all part of it. It is not just he, and it is not just you as individuals. You are indeed, as dear Nancy said, one. And we invite you to find ways to pay attention, to look at how you are all truly one. And we invite you to believe us when we say that this will indeed lighten your spirit at times of difficulty. It will indeed inform and guide you in magical and mystical ways that are as yet unseen. So, that said, we are happy to be here today, and let us talk about patience. Dear ones, patience is an incredibly interesting concept, is it not? For what does it imply? Within patience is the very sub-concept of waiting. And yet we have told you many, many times, and you have heard probably from others, that there is no past or future. Time is an illusion. If time is an illusion, if you truly believe this and take this to heart as part of your own belief system and way of viewing things, if time is an illusion, then what is the human person truly waiting for? What is patience needed for? We invite you to consider that when you are asking for patience, or when you are struggling with being impatient or feeling impatient, whether it's a struggle or not, it is simply an indication that you are wanting something that currently in this moment you have identified as a desire, something that is not, that isn't in the moment. When you are identifying something that is not, meaning it has no current isness in your perception, which, by the way, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, it actually does exist already, because all things exist in this very precious singular moment in time, for nothing else exists outside of the now. For if it did existed outside of the now, it would not exist. There's only the now, and all things exist in the now. So what are you truly waiting for? And indeed, if you step away from this notion of waiting, the concept, the belief system that I don't see it in the now, therefore it must occur in the future, and yet the future is an illusion. The future is not really there. It actually exists in the now. Then what you are really, really, truly asking for, dear ones, is not patience, for time is not of the matter in this. What you are asking for is perception. You are asking for the ability to open your perception, to perceive differently. For you only can receive that which you can perceive. And if all things exist in the now, if all things are pure isness, as we have said that they truly are, then what you are not currently perceiving actually exists. You're just not perceiving it. So patience is not really what's required. Now, let us take the example that you are dealing with having to be patient with another individual's behavior or comments, etc. This is a different example than patience for something that you see that is missing, that you are wanting. The example of needing, wanting, desiring patience with another individual, again, this is bringing the mind's perspective of time unfolding into the situation when what you are really asking is allowing acceptance, understanding of this other individual. Can I allow this other person to be as they are? See, because what happens is when we are frustrated with other individuals and their behavior, their comments, whatever they write, whatever is going on interactionally with them, we are truly, what is happening is they're giving us the opportunity to look at ourselves. They are simply being a mirror for the parts of ourselves that we may dislike. For example, let us say that you bump into a certain individual, whether they're a beloved one in your life or not. You bump into this individual and you find them to be incredibly critical and judgmental. Well, they are simply, and you have a reaction to it. Now, if you have no reaction to it, well, then there is no need for patience for this with this individual, right? For there is nothing that you are frustrated or aggravated about. But if you are irritated by this individual's criticism and judgmental behaviors and habits, if you will, then what it is really doing is it's giving you an opportunity as the mirror that this other individual truly is for you, a reflection of your own judgment and criticism. And so rather than asking, how can I be more patient with this particular aggravating individual, you might actually be asking yourself, what ways am I critical and judgmental as well? And when you realize that, similar to the comment that we all bleed red, of course, unless you're an alien, aliens might bleed a different color, but in terms of human beings, you all bleed red. And so if we all bleed red, then we all have criticism and judgment at any particular given time of our lives. It has nothing to do with what we are critical and judgmental of, but it has to do with what we are believing. The only reason that you need patience with somebody else, or over a particular thing that you desire, and the only reason you would even be irritated or feeling critical or judgmental of another being is because of belief that you have within yourself. And so, dear ones, it always comes back to you as a reflection. And it is always your highest service to yourself to bring it back to you and to investigate and look at what is it that I am believing that is causing me to feel so aggravated with this critical, judgmental person, and thus I'm wanting patience. Well, you're not really wanting patience. You're wanting to change your perception of this belief. Because the minute you change that belief, perhaps it is an outdated belief that people who have strong opinions are bad. For example, well, you have strong opinions about certain things at certain times in life, do you not? And therefore, that is just a non-self-serving, it is not a serving belief, if you will. It is not a belief that is in service to your highest and best. And so when you look at this belief and say, oh, well, wait a minute, I too have these moments of judgment and criticism. I'm not a bad person. Sometimes I feel bad when I do it, but it doesn't mean I'm a bad person. This belief is outdated and no longer of need. I am willing to believe differently. When you go through that kind of an introspection, certainly it's uncomfortable to react to other individuals in this way, but you understand that they are providing a mirror for you, and then you turn the light inward and you investigate and inquire about these particular beliefs that you might have that are underlying it, well, then you get your true answer. And when you are willing to believe differently, then you have your aha moment. Then you have your breakthrough and your shift. We hope that this answer, although smidge long-winded and a bit quick in the tongue, we hope that this answer to this beautiful topic of patience is to your liking. Wow. That was like rapid fire. Woo. How was that for everybody? Fantastic, says Carrie. There was a lot there. Oh my God. Yeah, brilliant though. Thanks, Joanne. Yeah. Wow. Whose topic was brilliant or was patience? How are you, whoever that was, how are you feeling? Darlene says fabulous. Nancy is amazing. Muriel, how are you feeling, dear? What's coming up for you after that answer? I can still feel all the energy of that. They were talking really, really quickly. Overwhelmed. Okay. Overwhelmed in what kind of a way? Yeah, it was very fast, but Alicia says, but makes total sense. Yeah. I bet you didn't expect that, did you? Yeah, Ruby, lots of information to take in and to apply. Absolutely agree. Woo, okay, let's take a moment. Carrie says that shows that our perception is the problem and it was brilliant. I would rephrase that, if you don't mind me reframing that for you. It's that our beliefs are at the core of our responses, and our perception is the gateway through which we can shift our beliefs. Does that make sense? Because when we expand and open our perception to things, we begin to understand what's happening differently. We see a different perspective, we perceive something differently, and when we're perceiving, can we do an example? Nina says it was needed all. Aligns with signs that you've been receiving. That's awesome, Nina. So an example. Yeah, it's a learning opportunity. Indeed, yes. So I'll share from my, I don't know if you heard the story of what I was telling from earlier in the week, but I've had a tough couple last few weeks. I've been isolating a lot. I've been worrying. I've been in fear, and I've been thinking that things are going wrong. I've been basically very overreactive and frustrated with my job. I've been frustrated about the process I've been going through in terms of my messaging and how to serve this community. And I was really sort of digging a hole, kind of a spiral. And it wasn't like bringing me super down, but it was bringing me down enough. It was draining my energy. And so that my perspective was that something was going wrong, that something wasn't right. And when I took a walk on Tuesday, or maybe it was Wednesday, earlier this week, I was out on my walk and I was talking with the council and I was talking with myself and my guides. And it suddenly hit me that everything is exactly as it should be, that there is no such thing as things going wrong. Nothing has gone wrong. In fact, if I look back at the last year of my life, for those who remember where I was a year ago, my life is completely different now. Vastly improved, hugely shifted. I'm like I was barely starting with the Council of Seven last year at this time, right? I had no home, no job. I didn't know what I was doing on a lot of levels, right? So my perspective before realizing that nothing had gone wrong, my perception before that was that things were out of whack, that something wasn't right. Well, what was out of whack and wasn't right was my perspective. But I was perceiving that everything around me was out of whack. My job, my finances, my home, etc., my health, etc. I was targeting all these things, but what was out of whack was my perception and my perspective. But the minute that I got a soul's perspective, that nothing can harm me as a spirit, nothing can destroy my self-love, my sense of self-worth, my self-dignity as a soul. Nothing can actually destroy my actual energetic soul. Well, then how can anything be wrong? Nothing's wrong. Everything is exactly as it should be, because the minute we invalidate what is, we are energetically, hear this, the minute we invalidate what is and say it's wrong, it's bad, it's not right, it shouldn't be this way, the minute we do that, We are energetically removing that piece of the jigsaw puzzle. If we take that piece off the table, we can't complete the jigsaw puzzle. If we remove that piece, we're removing a stepping stone for us to be able to cross the river or cross the stream, right? Have you ever jumped on stones to cross a river or a stream? So just having the shift of perception that, oh wait, nothing has gone wrong, allowed me, like that was a whole new perspective, and that allowed me to make a shift. And when I made the shift internally, nothing outside of me needed to change, nor did it change. But when I made the shift internally, I felt better. That's how it works, my friends. When we insist that things outside of ourselves are different, we're forgetting that they're just a mirror for us. They're just a reflection of our beliefs and our thoughts. So if we turn that light inward, like the council said, and then find the belief or find a new perspective or share with a friend, whatever works, or sit and meditate or take a nap or do some yoga or go for a walk and open our minds and hearts to a new way of seeing things, and then take responsibility for the way we see it, and then choose something to see differently, choosing to see differently. That's the true power. That's where our power lies. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me. Oh, absolutely, says Darlene. Wonderful. Do we have any more? Georgia says yes. Alicia says, so true. This is why two people can witness the same situation, yep, but see two different outcomes. Absolutely. Why do I not worry about the state of the world? People might say that I am completely Pollyannish about my worldview. I don't care what they say about that personally. But why am I not worried about the state of the world? Because I perceive the state of the world differently. I perceive it from my belief system. I perceive it from the belief that every single experience we have has the potential for a beneficial outcome. And that's the same of every single experience that anybody else has in the world. They don't have to agree with me. That my belief doesn't require agreement of other individuals. My belief doesn't require agreement of you guys. My belief is my belief. I believe in beneficial outcomes, even in the worst, most painful situations that I can have. I believe in beneficial outcomes. And so then what is there to worry about? I do worry still about certain things in life, mostly personal things, but I don't worry about the state of the world. Just as an example. You get that a lot too, Darlene? Yeah, I bet. Okay, any more topics for the wheel? Has anyone joined first time? Thank you for coming aboard. We'd love to greet our first timers. If you have not followed me yet, get a load of that. Last month we hit 1K followers. Oh my God. I think we might need a party. Do we need a party? Maybe we should have. You guys let me know if we need a celebration or a party for 1,000 followers and how you want to do it. It could be an AMA, ask a Q&A with me, or it could be a personal readings or a journey, whatever. You let me know. Carrie says, life is a mirror. We are the observer. Yep. And what happens in life is the reflections of us observing. Oh, I love that. Wait, that I wrote that to you? Life is a mirror. We are the observer. And what happens in life's a reflection of us observing. Yes, I wrote that to you. Yes, I did. That's funny, Carrie. We need to put that quote somewhere. Cake with candles. I love cake. Can you make a chocolate cake, Jojo? I love chocolate cakes. I mean, I'll eat a vanilla or a strawberry, but I prefer chocolates. Nina says, if time is an illusion, what are we waiting for? I'll take that with me. If time is an illusion, what are we waiting for? And even more deeply, Nina, when in our waiting, what are we really looking for? What are we really asking for in our waiting? It's a belief that what we want takes time, right? If we just break this down, Oh, you got to go, Alicia? It's so good to see you, dear. Thank you for being here. Oh, may you all be divinely aligned till next time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chocolate is the best. My double chocolate is amazing. That's super cool. Yeah, so I love that. I'm going to follow this on Nina's thought. If time is illusion, what are we waiting for? So what are we really asking for in the waiting? We're saying we desire something, and we're seeing that it is, quote unquote, not here yet. But if we can shift our belief that it is here, if it is already here, if it is already in the here and now, perhaps it's on another timeline, or it's in another vibrational frequency, or it's in another dimension, but it is available and accessible to us right in the here and now, then our responsibility, or our job in that moment, I hate to say it that way, but that's the first thing that comes to mind, is to shift our perception so that we can perceive that it already exists. And we don't necessarily need to see that it already exists, but the beginning of that process is to believe that it already exists. And not just to believe it, but even then it gets more powerful when we move beyond the belief and into actually feeling it in the moment, because everything is energy, everything is vibrational. If you can feel what you want, if you can identify the way that you think you want to feel when you get this thing, or when this thing comes into your life, you have the capacity in this very moment to feel that. And in feeling that, you align vibrationally with it and you open your perceptive abilities, so then it becomes magically revealed. And then we think, oh, look, I just manifested that. Well, it already existed energetically. You simply were able to finally perceive it. And as a really huge side tangent on that, why do you think that we don't see dragons and unicorns anymore? I'm going on a limb here, but I believe in dragons and unicorns, and I believe they still exist. We just struggle with perceiving them because we don't believe in them, and we don't perceive them. Now, of course, there's other elements in there. They may actually literally be living on another plane of existence that we don't have access to anymore, and they may have gone there. But I mean, just as a fun thought. Nancy, no, you don't? I see them in my heart, Nancy. Absolutely see them in my heart. All right, dear ones, let's get ready for another spin of the wheel. If that last answer or response from the council was wonderful for you, if you got value and it touched your heart, please do consider making a donation. Your support of my work in the world means that I get to work less in my job and do more events for the community. And I appreciate you supporting my work in the world. So I'm a unicorn. I am too. I'm a dragon. All right. Any more topics for the wheel, my dear friends? We still have a while to go for our session today. Thank you, Ruby. Very sweet of you. Appreciate you sharing your abundance with me and supporting my work, supporting the council's work. All right, any more topics for the wheel? Please type them in chat. I'll take another quick sip and then we'll spin again. Self-love, Ruby, that is a beautiful one. Thank you. Self-love, what else do we got? Anybody else? Ooh, it's getting dark outside. Can you see how the light has shifted here? Let's do that. No. Yeah, light shifted a little bit. All right. Last call for more topics before I spin again. No, we're good? Okay, I'm gonna spin. Let's see what we got. And the answer is... the lucky winner is open to our guides. Woohoo! I think that's the one, Carrie. Was that yours, Carrie? Yeah, I think that's Carrie's topic. Yay! Open to our guides. Okay, this is different. I can feel the energy of this very differently. I like this. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Your guides and concepts. Hello again, dear ones. Wonderful, beautiful question. Opening to your guides. Let us first explain a little bit about how your guidance system works. You may or may not have heard this explanation from Greg or others before. Your guidance system, your collection of guides, is arranged in what you could consider a series of concentric circles. The closest circle to your very self, if you will, energetically speaking, the smallest circle in the middle, if you will, is the group of guides as part of your collection who work with you on a day in and day out basis. They may represent specific themes in your life or particular contracts that you have agreed to accept on your way into this specific existence, at this specific instantiation of who you are, incarnation as they sometimes call it. But these particular guides are with you all day long. Well, all your guides are with you all day long, quite honestly, but you are hearing from them or feeling them, or they're present with you quite frequently. They are basically a day in and day out, as we said. The next concentric circle out from that are guides that are working with you slightly less frequently, if you will. Perhaps they're coming in and out of your perceptions and interactions energetically, providing guidance on a more weekly basis, if you will, or perhaps a more monthly, although there is no real time when it comes to these things, but just to give you clarity of being able to perceive this particular concept. And then as the circles extend outward and go out further and further, those are the guides within your collective guidance system who work with you far less frequently. They are much more sporadic. They will occasionally come forth into the inner circles to work on a particular theme at a particular time and then recede or return back to the outer circles. But they're always here, always supporting you vibrationally with whatever theme or experience that they are chosen and designated to guide you with. Now, how to open to your guides. This, quite honestly, is a very subjective and personalized question. This really comes down to whatever ways you use or feel resonant with when it comes to connecting with spirit. This is not always done through channeling. This could be done through meditation. It could be done through napping. It could be done through psychedelics or something else that brings you into a deep trance state, whether it is psychological or physiological, it does not matter. It will be different for all individuals. But the simplest aspect of opening to your guides just starts with a simple conversation. Hello, guides. I would like to hear from you. I would like to learn of you. I would like to learn with you, whatever that comment or question might be. For indeed, inviting them in, asking for them to come and be more, whatever you want, revealed, more present, more obvious, more helping you perceive them more, is really where the whole process begins. They are always there, always guiding, always existing. But when you actually request and invite them in, it allows them more permission, if you will, to engage on more fun, more profound, more direct methods. And this may actually occur in a variety of ways. If you are the type of individual who has strong resonance and alignment with the beasts of your planet, or the critters, or the insects, the birds, the bees, etc., the flowers indeed, the flora or the fauna, you may begin to experience certain anomalies, synchronicities, synergies as relates to these particular other beings on your planet, and they are simply reflections of your guides working through you. Now, that's not always the case, but trust your intuition, open your heart, open your perception, and you will begin to see that they are indeed your guides communicating either directly with you or through the medium of those other beings. In fact, one of the things that Greg has enjoyed over all of the years, for quite a while now, has been the replicating numbers, angel numbers as some call them, things like 111, 222, 444, 424, and those aren't exactly replicating, but they are showing a pattern. These have often these don't have any specific meaning except the ones you assign to them. Indeed, you can subscribe to some of the common numerology meanings if you wish, or you can assign your own significance to them. One of the things that Greg realized is that every time he saw one, he felt slightly excited or elated or relieved. And he realized that every time he saw one of these sort of repeating patterns in numbers, it was simply a reminder that all is well. All is well, all is well, all manner of things are well. And that was what he decided was the meaning of these particular numbers for him. And that has become a fun game, if you wish. So indeed, there is no one set way to open to your guides, but we do invite you to begin by simply starting a conversation with them, inviting them in, dear ones, inviting them to come into your space more frequently, because understand that even though they are always with you, working energetically, it may not be within your actual space. It may not be within the actual space-time continuum that your body exists in. Indeed, it is mostly energetic, but when you invite them in, you begin to form a relationship with them. Indeed, that is how we came to Greg. Of course, Greg agreed before he was even born that he would be our voice, and it took many, many years, of course, but it wasn't until he actually started to understand and accept that he's a channel and start to explore and ask the question of, well, what does that mean? He was told he was a channel about 15 years ago, and he didn't know what it meant. And it took a while to figure it out. He started to generally, and then it became more specific. But indeed, he had set an intention to bring us in at some point, and he was even shown that we were on the way before we even arrived, so to speak, and that occurred the January before this last one. So it can happen in any way. It does not necessarily mean that you will become a channel. It does not necessarily mean, of course, you're all channels of source in one way or another. It may express through you in a different way. Dear ones, our point is, do not allow your mind to dictate the way in which your connection and openness to your guides is expressed. Be simply open-hearted and open-minded, looking with the curiosity of a child, the playfulness of a child, looking for the ways in which your guides will choose to connect with you after you have invited them in to a deeper relationship, a deeper experience with you. We hope that this helps clarify the question, dear Carrie, as well as any others who are or have been curious about this part of their path. Hey, Kimmy, good to see you, dear. Hey, Jacqueline, good to have you, sweetheart. Yay. All right. How was that, guys? How was that one? That was pretty cool. Yay. Thank you so much for the counsel. You're welcome, Carrie. I'm glad that was helpful for you. Did anybody else get anything out of that? What was that like? Any questions or things get answered for you guys? Anything you've never heard before? Brand new information? Ruby says it was good. I had no idea we had to invite them in. I don't think you have to invite them in. They are always present and always working with us, I think is the point the council made. But for someone, for the reason they stated the way it is, Carrie has an intention to, whether you know this or not, Carrie, the reason they talked about the inviting is that Carrie has an intention to open to them more. She wouldn't have asked that question. or had that topic if she didn't want to open to them more, right? So she has a desire and an intention to open to them more. And so the best way, the beginning way to do that is to simply invite them. They'll still, if you don't invite them, they're still going to guide you. They're still going to be part of your guidance system for that's just the nature of it. It's not like they're not going to guide and help us, you know? It's like, just because you're talking to the council today, when you guys log off from this session, the council's always available to you guys, not just through me. If you feel a connection with the council, if you don't feel a connection, that's a different story. But if you feel a connection with the council, you can certainly invite them in. Jojo says, I like the way they made it sound easy. It is easy. Now, our minds can complicate it, right? Our minds can make it difficult, or we can have a belief that it is difficult, but it's all just energy. It's all just emotion. Oh, Nancy loved that. Oh, I'm so good. Darlene says it was great. I think my guides speak through birds. Ooh, that's cool to know. Stay with that alignment or that synergy or that resonance and keep an open heart and an open mind. Jacqueline says, yes, I did. I would like to invite my guides in for a closer relationship. It's the same thing. It's just like meeting an individual that you were intrigued by. Well, what do? Do you sit there and wonder if they'll ever come up to you, or do you invite them into a, as Jacqueline so beautifully said, a quote unquote closer relationship? No agenda. You're not saying, hey, go out with me or marry me, right? You're just saying, oh, I find you interesting. You intrigue me. What you said was interesting. You just let it unfold naturally. Carrie said, yep. Simply ask them to come forward more. Yes. Ruby said, I asked if they can make themselves more noticeable to me. Marielle says, Sonia Choquette wrote a wonderful book called Ask Your Guides. Aw. Johnny says he never heard about the different concentric circles. Makes sense. I love the concentric circle model because it's not so much like a tiered hierarchy. It's all like everything is self-contained. Like every circle is within or part of the other circle when you think about it, right? There's a wholeness, there's a unity, there's a oneness to that is really, really beautiful. The space-time continuum, Kimmy says, love it. It's a great place. Hey, Adia, good to see you. In a nutshell, who is the council? The council is a group of beings and masters from different timelines and worlds and dimensions that have come forward through me to share. They represent 7 distinct frequencies or energies that are related to our evolution, our spiritual evolution as humanity. So they're very playful, just like I am, and very loving. That's pretty much a nutshell. Super nutshell. They're just a group, they're a group of guides who have come to provide, to be of service to us in understanding who we are vibrationally, really, to understanding what it means to be an energetic being, and to help us tap into those 7 different frequencies. The first of which is love, and the second is unity. They've revealed that much so far. Yes, Jacqueline, that is cool. She's saying that when they talked about how I knew before I was even born that I was going to be, had agreed to be a channel. It just took years for you to remember. Yeah, exactly, Jacqueline. You're welcome, Adia. They don't identify. Adia's asking whether the council is male or female. They don't identify as any particular energy. There isn't that sort of duality of gender and energy. There is masculine and feminine energy within them, but they're very energetically, I would say that they're a very balanced energy. I would say that they probably represent, I'm just tapping into this. This is a new question. I've never had this before, so this is cool. Thank you, Adia. I would say that energetically, they represent the ideal for balancing the masculine and feminine energies, but not in the way that you think of it as like a balance, and not in the yin yang symbol. Let me ask them. they're giving me, it's much more blended. The energy is much more blended in the way that they're balanced. It's more like the masculine and feminine exist as one. It's a little hard to describe. I can feel it and I can get the sense of it. So that's a cool question. Thank you. Yes, Joanne has a live coming up. Please, dear friends, please support our beautiful friend Joanne Spiller. She is recently started doing lives. If you haven't followed her yet, check it out. She's doing lives on tea readings. They've been so fun and so fascinating. It has really been a fun experience. So please do support our dear friend there if you so feel called to. Spirit has no gender, so to speak. Yeah, they don't have a gender. They are energy. Sometimes I see some of them as presenting as males, and sometimes some are females, but they don't identify to me individually. I feel them collectively, although I have this image of them and all our higher selves milling around this beautiful rustic, like an Italian village up on a hill overlooking some beautiful water. And I do see figures, them moving around, but I don't know, like, I don't know what individual beings they are. They don't have names or anything like that. So it was 444. Oh, an angel number. Very cool, Darlene. Colors? No, I don't necessarily see colors of them. All right. We have time for one more. Everybody ready for one more, or are we done? How you guys feeling? I think I can do one more. Yes, one more. Yes. Yes. Okay. Ready. Yay. Love it. Alrighty, let's spin the wheel one more time and see what topic. I'm going to shuffle 3 more times. 1, 2, 3, and spin it. Wait, why is that still pointing there? 1, 2, 3. There we go. Spin again. Let's see what we get. Jacqueline, thank you for sharing your gift of love and abundance and support for my work. I really, really appreciate it. If anybody is feeling so called to, please feel free to donate. It helps support my work in the world. And it means a lot to me, just personally. It makes a huge difference. If you find value in this, there's other ways to support me. If you haven't followed yet, let me throw that card up. You can join our beautiful collective. I still haven't figured out a good name for us. Muriel, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. And Nancy, your donation as well. Thank you so much, you guys. It really does support my work in the world. The more donations they get, the more I can do more lives, basically, is one practical aspect. But I'm gonna commit to you guys that I will consistently schedule lives at least once a month. I'm hoping twice, because just this time with you guys is so precious to me and helpful for my own growth and well-being. So it is very, very special. All right, look what our topic. What do we get? Seasons of life. Whoa. I think this was Joanne's. Thank you, Carrie. Appreciate you sharing your abundance with me as well. Much love for that. Seasons of life. I have no idea how this is going to go. Whose was this? I think it was JoJo's. Joanne, can you let us know when your live is coming up? Because I know it's coming up soon. All right, let's see what we got here. Seasons of life. Your guides and goals. Hello, dear ones. Once again, beautiful topic, seasons of life. What's important in understanding this particular concept is not so much from the perspective of a timeline. Indeed, seasons are typically understood in the human mind and consciousness as a question of time. But let us step off into a more broader perspective, as it really does not relate so much to time as it does to the cyclical nature of life. Consider for a moment, what actually is it that defines a season? You may feel free to share it in the chat with the rest of your collective here if you so wish, although Greg cannot currently see it, but feel free to share what you think. What actually defines a season? And by this we mean the actual seasons within the calendar year, and we will get to the notion and convey that into the seasons of life concept after this. But for example, the placement of the sun often defines the season. In fact, very, very much defines the season, but also the angle of the planet, etc., etc. Now, what's fascinating, if you know anything about geography and how the world is set up in this particular regard, those in the southern hemisphere are having the opposite season, if you will, of those in the northern hemisphere. Does that really, truly have anything to do with time? No. It has everything to do with how close and how angled the planet is to the sun. Now step back even further for a moment and consider the sun as the source of light and warmth. Hello, did you hear the word that we used? The source of light and warmth. And what is the planet? The planet is your habitat, the human's habitat. So if we break it down even more generalistically, what we are talking about is the angle that you as an individual human expression of a soul is experiencing, the angle and distance to source. Interesting, is it not? And so the seasons of life, the dance of life, if you will, we love how it was described earlier as an ebb and flow of your various experiences throughout life, rather than just ups and downs. Ups and downs are very unidirectional, if you will. It's either one way or another. But the ebb and flow, it's much more like those concentric circles that Johnny enjoyed hearing about. It is indeed more of an experience of ebb and flow, flux and change, the variety of rhythms. So the seasons of life is very much like this. And the most important thing to remember regarding if you are thinking about the seasons of life is really to ask yourself, what angle am I to source right now? What angle am I holding to source? Now, angle, you can change the word slightly. What is another usage of the word angle? Of course, by angle, when we're talking about the planet to the sun, we're talking about the angle or the axis, right? The angle of the poles, if you will, to the sun itself, indeed, for that is part of what makes up the seasons. And the distance to the sun, the distance to the light source. When it comes to talking about the angle of individual, you can simply replace that word with perception or perspective. Because think about it, in human language, you can say, well, what's the angle on this, right? And what are they really saying when they ask, what's the angle on this? Oh, that person is coming from a very different angle than I am. Well, we're really talking about how someone views it, aren't we? We're talking about how someone perceives or their perspective of a situation. So your quote-unquote planetary human angle to the quote-unquote sun, source, light, truth, whatever, love, you want to fill in the blank there with whatever you want, is truly your perspective. So what is your angle and your distance to the source? Now let's break down the distance aspect. We know that angle means perspective or viewpoint. Your perception, again, bringing up that topic of perception. But what is the distance? Well, in the planetary example, the distance is covered in miles or kilometers. Indeed, it is quite a long way, but the length of it actually doesn't matter. In the case of a human and the seasons of life, the question then becomes, what is the distance of my connection? How connected am I in this moment to source? How connected am I in this moment to the understanding of my true nature energetically, to my higher self, if you will? There are many different ways to phrase and ask this question. And indeed, it is a very powerful question that the mind cannot answer, dear ones. You must ask this question from your heart. And one of the best examples that we know for a game, if you will, for playing with and learning about your connection, your spiritual connection to source, and let's say to qualify, to test or measure your connection. If we invite you to try this at this moment, if you wish, simply close your eyes, feet flat on the floor, relax, and sense into your crown chakra, right here at the top of your head, right here. And without forcing, without trying to imagine too strongly, draw a picture in your mind's eye, trying to identify the size of a circle. Circle with the emptiness in the middle. It's a perfectly drawn circle. It's not filled in. What size is the circle, if you will, at the top of your crown chakra? This indeed is the gateway, the portal, an orifice of type. And guess what? You have complete control over the diameter of this open circle. So take a moment as you are closing your eyes and listening to our voice to picture this circle that lives all times, all days, all minutes of your life at the top of your crown chakra. What size is it? Is it a corridor? Is it a grapefruit? Is it the width of a dinner plate? Perhaps it's the size of a penny or a pence or a pinpoint. There will always be a hole in the center of that circle, and it will always be a circle. It can never, ever, ever be a dot. But it can be of infinite diameter. And so once you've identified, let's say that you see that you have a circle at the top of your head, your gateway to the divine, if you will. It is the size of the diameter of a grapefruit. Simply with your mind's eye, reach your hands up and very gently grab the opposite edges of this circle, this grapefruit-sized circle, and begin to gently tug it into a wider and wider diameter. Feel and watch as that circle grows and see how far you can tug it outward. There's no effort needed. It's very gentle, very gradual, very loving. How far out, how big of a diameter can you make it? And as you are, feel the rush and the flow of energy coming in, of connection to source. Now, very gently, again, start to push those edges in. Push it in to a point at which it is smaller than the original size. In the case of the grapefruit, perhaps go down to the size of a quarter. Push it in and feel how the smaller that diameter gets, the less energy you feel, the less connection, the less love, the less whatever you want to call it, whatever it is you are experiencing. This, dear ones, is what it feels like to be disconnected from source. Now, you are never, ever 100% disconnected. There is no distance between you as an earthly person and your quote-unquote sun, source as a sun. There's no distance that ever can prevent the light from coming to you. And there is no angle that you can take that would ever completely cause a shutting off, a complete disconnection of that light and that warmth and that love from source. It is impossible, dear ones. Trust and understand and believe this. So what remains if this is true? And we guarantee to you that it is true. What remains is your circle of connection, the diameter. And this, dear ones, you always have control over. If you are having a seasons of life experience in which this particular moment feels burdensome and you are noticing you are not centered, your well-being, your sense of well-being is off, perhaps your sense of confidence or self-love is off, perhaps you are just feeling disconnected from source, well, guess what? You can close your eyes, reach up, picture the dime-sized circle, and begin to gently coax it outward into a bigger diameter, allowing in the beautiful connection from source. Now, we invite you to finish this game and exercise by finding the size that feels just right for you right now. It may be the size you originally started with, the same diameter as you began with, or it may be smaller, or it may be larger. But we want you to use your mind's hands and position the diameter to exactly what feels right to you in the moment. And know that at any given time, you have the power to change this. Now, you do not necessarily need to do this visually in your mind's eye. You can do this simply energetically. But we love this particular game or exercise or tool, whatever you wish to call it, because it shows you that you are the one who maintains and controls the angle and distance to source. So we think this is a very useful game, and this indeed may not 100% relate to what was originally intended in terms of talking about the seasons of life, but really the seasons of life come down to, energetically speaking, they come down to the ebb and flow of your connection to source and your perspective of source. We hope that this makes sense, and any further questions and clarifications we are sure that Greg can handle. We wish to say to you what a joy it is to gather with you once again here in the physical. We are always with you in the energetic realms, but to gather with you, to be able to speak with you through our beloved channel Greg, to be able to share time and space with you in this moment is truly our heart's joy. And we are so glad that you all love coming together and gathering, and we again invite you to consider, in what way are you a part of the body that makes up your collective, your wholeness, your unity, your one, the way in which you are all one, all called together in this body for source. And we appreciate every single one of you, every single thing you go through, and we wish to remind you how deeply we love you. And if you are ever feeling down, just picture us having a party for you, celebrating. Perhaps we are throwing streamers or using noisemakers, whatever brings some lightness and joy to your heart, for we are always holding the highest and best focus for you. For we would not be good guides if we were to do anything other. And with that, we bid you adieu, and we wish you good day and well wishes. We love you. Oh. Hey, Bonnie, good to see you, dear. It's been a while. No, so nice of you to pop by. I'm sending you lots of love, too. The source of light and warmth, quotes Jacqueline. Yeah. What angle am I to source right now? You like that? That's great. Angle, perception, perspective, Jacqueline. Absolutely. 100%. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Get rid of this. Wow, this is a great session today. Carrie says, distance is important. How close are you to source? Yeah. Jacqueline, distance, how close is my connection? How connected am I to source? And here's the beautiful thing, my friends. We add more suffering into our existence if we are in judgment of our level of connection, if our angle or distance to source. It just is. There's no need to judge it. There's no need to criticize ourselves. If we catch ourselves and we're feeling off-centered, it's going to just feel worse if we're like, oh, I'm a schmuck for feeling off-centered. No, you feel off-centered. It just is. It's okay. And then remember, yes, I have that circle at the top of my head. I maintain and control my connection to source, and it can never be 100% cut off. Take solace in that. Carrie says, well, that was amazing, and I made it bigger than my head. Oh, how fun. I totally felt the energy flowing through my entire body. Yeah, isn't that a fun exercise? I love that game. Darlene says, me too, Carrie. Such a magical feeling. It is magical. It is. I'm so glad you experienced that, Darlene. How super, super cool. Muriel says, such a simple process and made me feel flowing source energy. Oh, I love that for you. Keeping the game in my toolbox. Yeah, I love that game. Gosh, that game, I don't know. Thank you, April. I so appreciate you sharing a donation and supporting my work in the world. Thank you so much. It's so good to see you. Retirement is going absolutely swimmingly for you still. I know you retired last year around this time, was it? It's coming up on a year, or is it past a year? Yeah, this is a wonderful game. I don't know when it came up, but I think it's over a year old now, that game. I don't even know what to call that game. Connection to Source game? Crown Chakra game? I don't know. Maybe we'll come up with a name for it. Oh, my dear ones. I feel so blessed to have been here today with you. It is so really nice. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you, Darlene, for your support too. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. I know all the teachers appreciate it when you support them in any way, whether it's a follow or a listen to a track or a donation. It just means the world. And it's nice to see. I'm looking forward to continuing to extend my work and to be a voice for the council to others. And guess what? I can feel there are more people who will be coming into our body, into our collective. And that is an exciting thing. And that is a joyful thing. More firsties to make and become friends. Ruby, you were a firstie. How'd it go today? April, what, July 26th? Wow, I was right about 1 year. I love it. Johnny says, that's a great game. I wonder if we can change the circles of the other chakras. Well, we probably can, but in particular, the theme of the crown chakra is our gateway to spirit, our gateway to the divine. And so I think that the ever-changing diameter of a circle fits really well with the crown chakra. I would imagine I'm getting, let me see what they say. The guides in the council are basically saying that you're definitely onto something there, Johnny, but that the equivalent of maintaining and manipulating the diameter of the crown chakra would express differently in the different chakras. I don't know what exactly that means, but it's probably going to be a different visual construct, if that makes sense. It may not be a circle, it might be a dot, it might be a ball, it might, you know what I mean? There just might be, because each one has a different element and theme associated with them. That's certainly something we could explore. I've thought about doing a workshop, 7 chakras and 7 nights, like different journeys, a specific journey for each chakra. I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in, but it's been on my mind for about a year now. You're welcome, Carrie, and the council thanks you as well. Yes, beautiful snacks today. Linda says, I feel so blessed to be here with you. Oh, Linda, I so appreciate seeing you. Ruby loved it. Well, welcome to the group, Ruby. Remember to follow. And if anybody doesn't trust or notice the notifications from teachers, we do have a group. I might change the name of it, but it's currently called Our Happy Little Bubble. I try to post there ahead of lives that I'm doing, but really the best way to stay notified is to follow and turn on notifications and to check them. I don't always check my notifications from my teachers either, but that is one of the things there. Oh, Nancy, I'm so glad you... Oh, was this your first time with this new format? Yeah, a lot of good info today. It feels really, really good. I did record this, I think I'm recording it. I am recording it, so I will have this up on where I usually put them. If you don't know where that is, check my profile. The link in my profile will take you to it. But I usually store them up on a particular site that stores videos. So that you can go back and rewatch and replay them if you so wish. Ruby, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Welcome to the body. Welcome to our group, our circle. I don't know what to call us. Got to come up with a good name. Linda, thank you for your donation. I really, really, really appreciate it. It was so nice to see you again. Oh, Darlene, I've missed being here with you guys too. I'm so glad you guys enjoy this, and I look forward to doing more. I haven't scheduled the next one yet, but let me just take a peek. I am planning a Zoom event in the next week or two, and then I'll probably bring this event back to Insight Timer. Well, let me ask you guys, the inner circle. Ooh, that's kind of cool. That relates to the guidance, the circles in the guidance system. I'll have to think about that. How often would you like this particular live? I'm working on trying to get a schedule that balances my energy, and I'm thinking I definitely can do once a month, but I'm feeling like, I don't know, it would be nice to spend time with you guys a little bit more time. So maybe twice a month. Does that sound good? Thank you, Carrie. Love having you here. Twice a month. What do you guys think about that? I mean, I know you'd probably like more, but I'm trying to put 15 to 20 hours a week into my job, which has been challenging lately, quite honestly. So I can't commit to as much as I did in April and May. Twice sounds good to you, Jojo? Okay. Jacqueline, you what? You wish these were every week? Yeah, I wish they were every week too, quite honestly. I just don't have the energy for every week. I definitely have to plan in breaks because a lot of my energy is used up with the part-time job. Whatever works for me. Thank you, Darlene. Joanne, tell us about your live. What time is your live? Or not time for you, but how soon is your live? How soon is your live? Jojo's about to have a live. Thank you, Joanne. Jacqueline, interesting question. If we donate more, will you do them more? Yes. Well, it's not a simple yes, unfortunately. Here's the thing with it. I have this part-time job. Eventually, all I want to do is this, both Insight Timer and a lot of Zoom events. That's my dream, is to just bring this stuff to the world and that be the only thing that I do, and that support me financially. So do more donations make a difference? Absolutely. Is it required? It's not required, but it does absolutely make a difference, because right now what's happening is, I have my 15 to 20 hours a week at my job, and if I hold these events and have a certain number of donations, it gives me a little bit of leeway in terms of having to put all those hours and energy into my job hours, and I can shift them. So that's my slightly complex, hopefully simple / slightly complicated answer. Is that good? It's a good answer. Does that make sense, I should say? And thank you, Jacqueline. I really, really appreciate the extra donation. Like I said, not required, not expected, but it absolutely does help. Jojo's live is just under an hour, doing a mandala meditation with a card pull too. Oh, that's super cool. Okay, everybody check out Joanne's. Let's take a look at what time it is. Where is Joanne's live? Just under an hour. Hold on, I gotta find Joanne. Joanne. Gonna get an exact number of minutes till Joanne's live. There it is. Oops. Oh, I just hit the wrong thing. Guys, I just messed up. Hold on. There she is. I unfollowed Joanne by mistake. I'm sorry, Jojo. 45 minutes. Joanne's live starts in 45 minutes. Mala bead, I am meditation, and card pull. This sounds amazing. Let's see what it says. Mala beads are wonderful to meditate with. They're prayer beads that aid in meditation and mantra repetition. They typically consist of 108 beads, plus a guru bead and sometimes a tassel or a crystal. The number 108 is significant in various cultures and religions, representing cosmic unity. Is that why Violet 108, you know, Violet, the teacher Violet 108, is that why she uses 108? Cosmic unity and the interconnectedness of existence. We will do several rounds of the beads and then follow with an oracle card pull. This sounds amazing. And it is happening in 45 minutes, my friends. So check it out, Joanne Spiller. Thanks, Jojo. Appreciate your donation. Thank you. The circle of life as it is with donations. Yes, indeed. Yep. 6 Eastern. Yeah. 6 Eastern, 4 Mountain. Yep. The council called you, Johnny. I'm pretty sure I heard that. Did anyone else? Was that a funny? Wait, did I miss something Johnny said? Council called everybody. Yeah. Yeah, Johnny, I'm so happy you're here with us too. I'm so glad you're enjoying this. They definitely called you. Jacqueline says, and hey, you can work on manifesting it to get what you want to be able to do this beautiful work. It already exists. What I'm working on is tapping into that feeling, as I've described to you guys. I do have these moments where I get worried and scared, and then I return to the fact that I've already created it. I mean, I'll tell you guys one last story. I was having this struggle in the middle of last week, and I sat down and had a meditation, and I started talking to the council, and they said, what are you waiting for? You're the only one who's waiting, Greg. We're not waiting, and your people aren't waiting. Your tribe is ready. They're already there. Nobody's waiting for you. You're the only one waiting. What are you waiting for? And so it really jolted me in a positive way, because it really made me realize that I was carrying this belief that I need to wait for it to happen. And that belief does not serve me. It's happening already. You guys are evidence that it already happens. My job, I guess, is to keep the house open, so to speak, to keep the fire going so that those people who already belong to us that we haven't met yet can actually be firsties. So it's my job to just be and I've been digging into how do I make myself discoverable. The important thing about projectors in human design is that we don't need to be visible like other people do, like other types do. We need to be discoverable so that people can come and see us, and then they come in and they join the circle, so to speak. Yeah, the council did make a reference to your comment about the concentric circles. I love that. Thank you, guys. I love you so much. Yeah, I mean, it's all a process, right? I know that it exists already. I have moments where I'm tapped into the feeling of it. I'm getting better at tapping into that feeling. And the reason I'm not having as much... The reason I'm not always having the feeling of having it all be is because of a belief. And I'm not entirely sure what that belief is, but I can feel the belief being a sticky wicket. Does that make sense? There's sometimes certain of our beliefs are so deeply ingrained. And by the way, no belief is ever permanent. We always have the choice to believe differently. But I'm just fine-tuning the whole picture, and my intention is to identify this belief and let it go so that I can be in full alignment with this work. And every month I move closer to that. So, and you guys help with that immensely. So I'm going to go. This has been a wonderful session. Thank you so much for being here. I will plan another one as soon as I can. And again, if you have any interest in anything I do outside of Insight Timer, you can always check my teacher's link in the profile, which you can get to through these beautiful fun cards. Jojo, have you figured out how to use the promotion cards yet? They're super fun. All right, my dears. It's so good to see you again, too. Joanne, I look forward to seeing you at your live shortly. And also, I'm meeting with Joanne on Monday. She's going to have a meeting with the council, and we're going to talk about, oh yeah, cool announcement. For anyone who attended Coffee with the Council, Jojo is actually going to help me format the transcript that Jack had typed up for us. So we have some movement. We have some movement forward, exciting movement forward on a written something or other from Coffee with the Council. So have that to look forward to. I don't know how long it'll take to get to that point, but we are baby stepping our way towards through that project, I should say. And we'll see. I really envision like a coffee table book, because wouldn't that be cool? A coffee table book called Coffee with the Council. I just think it's funny, that naming. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. All right, my dear ones, I gotta go. Jojo's gotta go get ready for her live. I will see you all very, very soon. Love you so much. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being with me. It's so important to me that we are together, that coming together, the gathering, the sense of belonging, as Nancy said, that oneness is just wonderful. I can't quit my day job, Darlene, because my belief system is not in alignment with doing that right yet. I still have a belief that I need that job. And just being honest, that's where it's at. It is coming. It is absolutely coming. As are lots of other things. Many more amazing times with us. Love you too. All right, my friends, I'm gonna head out. I will send you off to the outro. I will see you all very, very soon.